All right, we have a Battletech game going on. It's a continuation of the campaign that they're assaulting a Capellan world. Last time you seen this unit smashing into a defensive line and busting a hole for the Davian forces to push on forward. Well, the Davian forces went through the breach and they have reached the outskirts of the city through the suburbs, and they have to get through the city and the blocking force to get to the other side, which is down this direction, is the spaceport. So there's a spaceport over here, about where I'm standing, that you need to capture.
Oh boy.
And the only way to capture it is to get through this blocking force of Liao mechs and a small unit of mercenaries.
They gonna learn
Yeah. They got hired to, it's like, we need help, so they got hired to do some help. We'll just see what happens with this little game. Any questions of what your objective is? What is your objective?
No cap, kill all.
Okay, Jiggles.
And
Hello.
Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
There you go. Okay. You know what your objective is, Mr. Wild? All right. He's got the Minnesota Wild shirt on. Hockey season is in full effect. All right. We'll be back with turn one. Turn one. Over here. They assault Lance, and they're supporting fire support Lance over here is coming down the pipe right there, facing off against a dervish, a sentinel, and a blackjack. The blackjack at long range put an AC2 into the marauder's arm. Over here, the centurion and the griffin missed. It's on a PPC and an LRM 10 that direction and missed. Over here, the catapult with the two PPCs put a PPC into the left arm of the Wolverine right there. And then the cataphract and the stalker missed. Even though they only missed by one in each of their shots. It could have been a bad day for that Wolverine. And the Vindicator over here is like, I don't see it. What's the shooting going on? So that was the... And then you guys turned around and fired and missed with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like trading shots at extreme range right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're moving on. You want to shuffle. We'll see what happens. Good so far? Yeah, it's like they can't hear you nodding your head on.
No. Roger. Good.
Roger. All right. Let's flip those cards. Who's first? And it's the Ace of Clubs. That is the Griffin. So that's me. Mr. Griffin right there. Turn two. Over here, the Dervish unleashed a LRM 10 into the Orion. Did a little bit of damage, but the Orion and the Banshee and the Marauder did some damage and pummeled the poor Sentinel that was right there, along with that Vindicator back over there. But he's still standing, even though he took a dome hit.
Mm-hmm.
An AC2 into the Marauder from over there. Over here it was a massive slugfest. The Griffin and the Centurion and the Cataphract unleashed on that front hunchback and tore him up pretty good. When they turned around and tore up the Cataphract pretty good. I think they did what, 40 damage, something like that. They did some good stuff. Now the worst of it all was the poor crab over here from the K2 catapult and the Vindicator and the Stalker. They did, what would we count, 46 damage? Yeah. And ripped all the all it was is leg hits.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, you didn't get any crits out of that, so that could have been bad. But his legs are wide open, I believe, at the moment.
One of them is.
Yeah. That's a lot of damage. Okay. Did I miss anything? Oh, and you did shoot the... Was it the catapult?
Yes.
All right, you shot the catapult with a little bit of damage. With two, yeah, you hit with 2 large lasers. So you dished out 16 and received 46. I don't think that was in your favor. No. All right, so that is the end of turn 2. Any questions? The card's been shuffled. All right. And the first one, howdy, is turn. It's the 6 of diamonds is up. Turn 3. Over here, we have a crater where there used to be a dervish, which is the typical problem I had with dervish, is that if you do get a crit, typically all their thing that's in there is an LRM and ammo.
Well, it doesn't help when I rolled 3 crits.
There's 3 things in there that can be hit, and you rolled 3 crits. So it's like one's going to go boom. So it exploded the dervish. That was the Warhammer?
The Banshee that did that.
Oh, the Banshee. Oh, yeah, with the AC-20.
Everybody else tried to shoot at him, but the Banshee's the one that broke through.
Yeah. With an AC-20. Splat. And exploded the ammo. It's like caved everything in. Over here, the Awesome put in 3 PPCs into the Blackjack, tore him up, and he failed his pilot check, fell on his face. The Dervish and the Blackjack did enough damage to make the pilot on the Marauder have to make a pilot check, and he failed and fell on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, the Marauder shot the back of the Sentinel with enough damage, making pilot check, and he fell on his back and about killed himself and took a pilot hit, which is interesting. So right now we lost 1 mech, and 3 mechs so far have fallen down. Everybody that's been shot at basically has fallen. Over here, the Hunchback put an AC-20 into the chest of the Stalker, and also the other Hunchback put some medium lasers into him, and he failed his pilot check and fell on his face. That didn't take any pilot hit. Over here, we have a Swayback unleashed into the Catapult, the Wolverine, and the Hatchet Man unleashed into the Catapult. Tore him up pretty good. Didn't fall down or anything. And the Vindicator puts some PPC and an LRM-5 into the Trebuchet. Did I miss anything? Oh, the Catapult put 2 PPCs into the Hunchback back there. Right there. Would have shot that Hatchet Man, but it was minimum. It was easier to shoot doing minimum. It was an extra 1 too because of minimum range. So it was an easier shot to hit the Hunchback back there. And that's it, right? And the Griffin up here, I think he missed, didn't he? No, he put a PPC into the Hunchback, even though he jumped. Which is kind of interesting. That was a lucky shot. So that's the end of turn 3. As we do the panoramic view of the cityscape. Okay, and we're ready for the next turn for flip the dice. All right, it's the King of Diamonds is up. turn 4 is in. Over here, there's a dead, laying on the ground, blackjack that they shot all the armor off of it. All they had to do is put a point of damage into the center torso, and they shot everywhere. And then finally,
the one thing that didn't need to hit it, the AC-20, hits the center torso.
Yeah,
it does 1 point of damage,
and splattered it everywhere. So that was mangled. Now the worst shot of the day was right here where this crater is, down here. This Orion here shot and put both.
A full rack of 15.
And it had already, only time it's ever been hit was from a PPC, I think, to the right torso, and you put all it into the right torso and got a chance of critical and hit the ammo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, boom.
Shame. It's a shame.
It exploded. Yeah, that was not good. The blackjack and the griffin here unleashed on the Marauder did some good damage to it, but it's still going. The Sentinel took a PPC and kept on going. It's like, yeah, whatever. But the other crazy, there was a
Griffin and Vindicator shot the Vindicator and the Warhammer shot the Griffin.
Yeah. So yeah, he did take 2 PPCs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do have to make a pilot check on that one. So there we go. No, he's good. And now over here, they opened up on the Stalker, tore its armor up pretty good from all the hunchbacks that are sitting right there. And then this other hunchback, this red and green hunchback, shot and hit with an AC-20 into the back of the cataphracts, hit the ammo, and exploded it. So, in one turn, 2 mechs exploded into a big giant fireball from ammo explosions.
Welcome to the Succession Wars.
Yeah. And they did a little bit of damage to the catapult right here. And the Vindicator and the Crab exchanged shots with each other, did a little damage. And this buildings are all cattywampus now from sticking your fat meat hooks in there. Let's see, did I miss anything? I think that's it. That was the extent of the... Looks like this flank is wide open. It looks like you can just roll down the streets into there.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, it's a bloodbath over here. And there's, I think, that one hunchback right there, that right in front of the Stalker. He's not looking too good, I don't think. Do you have any armor left? He got waffle stomped.
You got armor.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
For how much longer? That is the question. All right, so that is it. We're moving on to turn 5.
Depends on what happens.
We'll move the die on top of the swimming pool and move on to turn 5. This could be bad. It's looking like a DFA. We'll see what happens. Turn 5 is a bloody mess. Yep, here we go. All right, the Sentinel over here, he's running away. He's got on the road and he's just hauling. And he's got enough internal structure. He's doing a disengagement. So he's out of there. This Griffin is like part of his lance mate of the mercenaries, and seeing as he's the only one that's really standing in this entire mercenary unit, he's like falling back. Over here, the Stalker, he backed up. He was going to kick that Marauder. He punched some holes into him, did some massive damage. Then this sway back rolls up on him and just unleashed, actually 2 of them. There's the other one right there. He took 3 medium lasers to the head.
Yeah, 1 from the Marauder and 2 from the swayback.
Yeah, he's like, so he just killed him outright, head capped him, and it's kaplunk into the ground. And then over here, yes, the this hunchback put in big round into that catapult. I'm like having a brain lock there for a second. Because I'm looking from the backside of him. And then he fell and go kaplunk on the ground, but he's still kind of active. He can still stand back up. Now, the big thing here is we had the DFA. The hatchet man decided to do a DFA on the Vindicator and succeeded, and then kicked him off the building. So, a level 4, he goes clunk plunk. He took, 4 actuator hits in the legs?
And a leg.
And took out his leg.
And hit his head on the way down.
Yeah, well, the big thing was that the sway back that was in front of him, that was the one that did it. Shot his leg out, took all the actuators, so he fell on the building, and then the DFA on top of him.
Crunched a leg, then blew out another actuator on a leg.
And then kicked him off the building, where he then took a head hit and 2 head hits from landing on the ground, and pretty much stripped most of his armor off him, going kaplunk. So, there. That was not good. So, that's the end of the turn. Anything else you want to say other than this Griffin took a few shots? Right?
Yep.
That was it from over here, that Vindicator. And then the catapult jumped up there and said, I'm going to shoot. No, I can't. You need, 13s or 14s?
Yeah, 13 to hit.
Yeah, not good. All right, so that's the end of turn 5. We're moving on to turn 6. All right, we'll be back. Six. Well, over here, we had the Sentinels trying to run off. We had the disengaging Griffin over here. You can see there's a Sentinel that's in a big pyrotechnica going on right there. What happened is that a couple mechs over here from up there unleashed on it from distance, and an AC-10 over here put some rounds into its backside and cored it out from the rear end while it was running away. That was the end of that mech. Over here, the slowly moving catapult that couldn't escape was surrounded, and as you can see, there's a hole where it used to be. Even though it doesn't have ammo, every point on that mech was obliterated. It had nothing left on it. It's like 2 swaybacks, a hunchback, a marauder, and a Wolverine unleashed on it and just totally obliterated. There was nothing left of it. Not one box was left untouched. Over here, the hatchet man put an end to the misery of the Vindicator that was laying on the ground, chopped him into little bits, shot him up, and that was the end of it. So we got 1 turn left, and the Griffin is going to get away. So when he does, he disengaged. So this is the end of the game. So what do you guys think? Good terrain?
Mm-hmm.
City fight?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hope you guys like it. So we'll be back with another campaign game sometime in the future. All right.